Alright, continuing with my PS4 collection once again. These are the titles that I went through last time. So these are PS4 games that I have in my collection that I am either currently playing or haven't played yet. These ones here I am currently playing or have stopped playing for whatever reason. Goes Up to Zombies, Ate My Neighbors. And these ones are limited run titles that I have in a collection that I haven't got around to playing yet, and some collector's editions as well in the corner. So let's move this over and get to some new game stuff. Right, so I'm trying to move through these quite rapidly. I don't really know much about many of these anyway. So let's start off with Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders, Eurojank murder mystery games. Always nice. I am a fan of European janky games. They are just fun to play, right? Speaking of Eurojank, Ash of God's Redemption. This is a Banner Saga clone by a Eastern European developer, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know much about it. It has a really nice cover art. I really like the cover art. Battlefield 4 FPS game. Got this at the flea market for a couple of euros. Batman Arkham Knight. Haven't played this one. Which one is this? Is this the third one? I've played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I believe this is the third one. Maybe it's the fourth one. I don't remember which order this came in, but yeah. Good third-person action games. Below Special Edition. This is a game that has a cult following. It's a very difficult exploration action game. What is this? Oh, it's Blaze Blue. Chrono Phantasm Extend. I have quite a few Blaze Blue games. I've played the first one, which I like a lot. Don't know anything about this one. Next up, Pix and Love. This is Blazing Chrome, a 2D old school arcade style game shooter. Looks a bit like Contra. Next up, this is Bomber Crew Complete Edition. This is by Signature Edition Games, but just a regular release. So, does this have a Signature Edition, Collector's Edition? Maybe it does. If it does, I don't have that one. I have just a standard copy. But yeah, I remember playing games like these way back in the day. I think on the ColecoVision, there was a game like this where you were in control of bomber planes and you had to bomb areas on a map. What was that game called? I actually don't have that game here in my collection. It's at my parents' house in a closet somewhere. The old ColecoVision that we used to have, or still have. It probably works still. It's just been sitting in a closet. Okay, Caligula Effect Overdose. This is a visual novel title released by NIS. This is the enhanced edition of the game, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is the enhanced edition of the original game. There is also a sequel that I don't have. But yeah, it's a visual novel. Another visual novel, this is Chaos Child. It's one of the games in the Steins Gate series. I've never played Steins Gate, but I got this for such a ridiculously cheap price. I had to get it. And at some point I'll play through all of them. Right, next up I have a bunch of Japanese games here. These are all alphabetized, so it just happens that these are next to each other, but in alphabetical order. But this is Clannad. Does have English language as an option, so it's Japanese voice and English text. So this is I think this is way cheaper than the American version. Is the American version limited run games? Maybe this. But yeah, this is not as expensive. It's a visual novel. nothing much to say about it. One of the most beloved visual novels probably ever made. Right. This is a struggle because I can't read Japanese, and these don't always have the English language titles on the sides. I'll do my best. This is the Disaster Report spin-off. Does it have something extra in it? Some download codes in Japanese. Right. This is a Disaster Report game. I believe it's called something like City Shrouded in Shadows or something like that. And this hasn't been released outside of Japan and only has Japanese language as an option, so this isn't in English. But I got this because I like the Disaster Report series, and this also has lots of these licensed monsters that I like Godzilla and Gamera, and the Evangelion mechas, and has Ultraman in it. So it's a survival game where you are in the middle of a giant monster attack trying to survive. A third Japanese title here, this is Closed Nightmare. Again, this doesn't have English language as an option, which is unfortunate, but this is an FMV J-horror game, which I wish there was a release of this in the West, but there isn't, so this is the only physical version that you can get of that game. Right, what do I have next? These are some shooters. Cotton games. I've shown a bunch of Cotton games before. These are some of the ones that I haven't played yet. So this is Cotton Reboot, Fantastic Night Dreams. Is this a what Cotton game is this a reboot of? Or is this the new game? I can't remember. There are so many Cotton games, I can't remember which is which. I know that there is a remake of the first game. Is this that? I'm not sure. Maybe this is just a brand new game. And then there is Superlative Night Dreams Cotton Fantasy, which again, I can't remember off the top of my head which Cotton game this is. But these are both side-scrolling Cotton shooters. Cotton is a fun series. I like these games. It's just that there are so many of these, and there are so many different versions of them. Also, these are by Strictly Limited, I believe. Oh, this doesn't have the Strictly Limited logo on it anywhere. Interesting. No logos, but these have been released by Strictly Limited. They are still on sale, I believe. Or not on sale, but for sale. They were on sale as well for cheaper prices at one point. That's when I got them, but yeah. This is Crashbots. I don't know anything about this game. It's released by Red Art Games. Some kind of a robot, like puzzle action, whatever, platformer. I don't know. This is Crysis Remastered Trilogy. I believe has all 3 games on disc. Or should be on disc. I'm pretty sure I googled it before I bought it, that these are all on disc. At least it doesn't say that it requires a download anywhere, so that's a good sign. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Crysis games. So I really like the original Far Cry. It's by the same developers, Crytek. So I'll give that a shot at some point when I have time. Darksiders 2, I've played the first one, never played the second one. 3D action puzzle games. Disco Elysium, a very well-liked role-playing game. I believe has a free PS4 upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. At least it says that there is an upgrade available. If I remember correctly, it's a free one. But what difference does it really make for this game to have a PS4 or PS5 copy? I don't know. If there is a big difference, let me know. Maybe there is some difference in the frame rate and whatever. Right, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. This is a spin-off for the Dishonored series. I never played the second one. I've played the first one a couple of times. I picked this up because it was very cheap. Next up, I have Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. It's a fighting game. with Final Fantasy characters in it. Never played it. I'll try it at some point. I remember there being a PSP version of that game that was everywhere for a while. You could get it very cheap. So that's a newer release of that game. Doom Eternal. The original Doom was fantastic. I was waiting for a long time for a complete release for Doom Eternal with the expansion pack also included on disc, but they never released one, so I got the base game. I'll probably never play the expansion because I want it physically. I don't support releasing these games. Yeah, well, that stack's complete. I'll start a new one. I don't support it when these developers release expansions and DLC that they then don't put on physical discs. It's so annoying. I despise that. All right, moving on. Dragon Age Inquisition. I've only played the first one, so I'll get to play that in maybe 20 years when I finish the other ones. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I'll probably play this quite soon because I'm intrigued by it. An RPG game with very deep combat mechanics from what I can tell. Next up, Earthlock Festival of Magic. There is a better version of this game. So this is the original Earthlock. There is a version of this game that is enhanced. And this was not very well received back in the day. A lot of people didn't like this game that much. But the enhanced edition got way better reviews. And I don't think there is a physical release for it. So this is the original one. I'll probably get the enhanced edition digitally at some point and play through it. Far Cry 6, first-person shooter. I haven't played the fifth one, so I'll get to it at some point. I don't even own the fifth one currently. Next up, we have some fantastic releases. These are Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, and Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. These are re-releases for the PS4 or ports for the PS4 of these old school horror games. Which one of these? Which one of these was for the Wii, and one of these was for the Wii U, and now they've been released for the PS4. So I've only played the first Fatal Frame game, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite PS2 games. So I have to check out all the other ones. I own all of these games, but I haven't played them yet. What do we have here? We have Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD. Never played these. I'll get to it at some point. Final Fantasy 15, same thing. Then we have Fire Pro Wrestling World. This is a pixel graphics old school wrestling game. These games back in the day were so much fun, and this is supposedly very fun as well. So this is Japanese entertainment wrestling. This is Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, a game by the developers of Yakuza, I believe, if I'm correct. Does it say so here somewhere? But yeah, this looks like a Yakuza game. But set in the Fist of the North Star anime world with all the characters. Galgun 2, rail shooter, not much to say about that. Welcome to Pantsu Paradise. A game very fitting as well. Girls and Puncher Dream Tank Match. This is the Asian English release for that. Girls and Puncher is a fantastic series. I really like Girls and Puncher, so I'll check it out at some point. Third-person tank warfare. Grand Theft Auto 5. It's in this stack because I've played through this on the PS3. I haven't played the PS4 version, so it's waiting for me. Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 anime style 2D fighting game. I haven't played any game in the Guilty Gear series, but I own quite a few of them, so I'll check them out at some point. This is a shooter, Hyper Sentinel, released by Strictly Limited. Alright, this one does have a number. Does this really only have 300 copies made? Is this for real? 300? This is number 100? Is that real? Or is that some other number? Very hard for me to believe that there are only 300 of these. Yeah. This is supposedly an interesting shooter. I don't know much about it, but I heard good things about it. Right, another Japanese game. This is I Am Setsuna. This doesn't have English language in it. So this is the first... Is this the first game? No, this is the first game that I know that Tokyo RPG Factory made. So these are people who work under Square Enix make these smaller JRPGs. I haven't played I Am Setsuna. I want to play it. I've played some of their other games, but yeah. Supposedly a solid JRPG with good music, so that's good enough for me. And this I believe is the only physical release for this that exists. Also, it's not having English language as an option is ridiculous because the Switch version does have English subtitles in it. So if you have a Switch, get the Japanese copy of I Am Setsuna. Has English subtitles in it. Not very expensive either. Immortal Planet. This is a... I don't even know what this is. This looks like Bastion, but like a more mature maybe version of that. Not that Bastion isn't a mature game. The story is one of the best ever written in video games, in my opinion. But yeah, well, it looks like an edgy version of Bastion. Next up, oh, there's a price sticker on it. I'll remove it. I don't like keeping stickers on my games. It was $12.90, so yeah, Indivisible. I believe is this a Metroidvania game? If it isn't a Metroidvania game, it's still like a 2D action platformer. So next up, Infamous First Light. I've only played the first one, and this is a spin-off. I could probably play this as a standalone because it doesn't really have much to do with the other ones, but yeah. I believe this didn't get an American release, so this is a European release for Infamous First Light. A couple more games here. I'll make this video a bit shorter because I don't have time to film more right now. I have 4 more games here that I'll show, and I'll get through the rest in the next video. Right, John Wick Hex. This is by Mike Bittle's studio. So a John Wick licensed game, action game. Supposedly a very good one. So I'll get to that at some point. Killing Floor 2 wave shooter FPS title. Very well liked series. And then next I have Killzone Shadowfall with Polish covers for some reason. Oh yeah, I got this for a couple of euros. I accidentally... There was a copy that didn't have Polish cover, and I accidentally picked up this one, but whatever. It's the same game, and the game is in English anyway, so yeah. An FPS game. I've played some of the Killzone games on a PS2, but not any of the newer ones. And then lastly, Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition has all of the DLCs, 5 add-ons. I believe everything on disc. If not everything on disc, my bad, but at least some of it is on disc. This is an Eastern European role-playing game set way back in a day of peasants and kings and castles. Apparently very historically accurate title. So it just it's such a long game that it's going to take me forever to get through it. So there are so many games that I can be playing that I can pick before it. So it has been sitting on my shelf for years now. But yeah. That's some games. Maybe I'll put it like this for the thumbnail. Only 2 stacks this time because I don't have time for more right now. So this is a shorter video at 20 minutes or so. I'll get through the PS4 stuff probably not in the next video, so it will probably take 2 more videos, but yeah, look forward to those. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back shortly in a couple of days. Bye bye.